Okay, I think we'll make a start. So welcome to this TATRA community webinar. We'll be hearing from EULAR and LearnChamp. The case study that we're about to hear was the winner of the Best Healthcare Project from 2018. And the team managed to complete the project in just 18 weeks. So this session is going to be recorded and it'll be available on the community after the webinar. But please feel free to type in any questions in the chat. We're now going to hear from Genevieve, the Education Project Manager, from EULAR, and Georgie is also here from LearnChamp to help answer any technical questions that you might have regarding this project. So I'll just hand over now to you, Genevieve.
Thank you. Hi, hello, my name is Genevieve. I'm working with EULAR. EULAR stands for European League Against Rheumatic Musculoskeletal Diseases. It is a non-profit organization representing the people with arthritis and rheumatism, or people who is working in the field, like the health professionals or scientific societies all over Europe here. And I work in the department of the school. And as you know, school, we have many courses, online courses, live courses, etc., to work with. And therefore, we have went through several rounds of finding the right learning management system in order to support us to facilitate this distant learning and registration of live courses, and buying of textbooks, etc., from EULAR side. We indeed have made the project within 18 weeks. It started in December 2017, and we completed the project and ready for registration, if I'm not wrong, Georgi, that was June 2018, right?
Yeah, it was mid of June. Yep.
Yeah. So within these months, we basically customize the most standardized topics in TATRA, and add on specialized plugins to ensure that people can actually pay for specific courses with different price range, which means, for example, we had TATRA did not have the payment system. So TATRA has a learning management system, but it is not plugged in with a payment system to recognize exactly what course that person might have been applied to. And we have different course structure. So for example, there are people all over Europe. We have the lower income countries from Europe, and we also have Central Europe where people are more well-to-do. So EULAR as a non-profit organization has different price ranges, and that was the challenge back then in 2017, to come out with a plugin that will be able to be customized and match with the standard TATRA phase in order to do this registration for the school. And we have successfully done this with a specific plugin that with a PayPal at the back end, and be able to recognize the audiences, as well as registering the people with the right amount of money that they are supposed to pay, and enroll them into the courses. That is our main challenge, and this is what we had actually done in the short 18 weeks where we actually implemented this. If you look, there is only a few months in between, from December to June for go live, after minusing off the testing phase and the editing phase, and so on and so forth. And as of June 2018, we had 3,000 over people starting to come into the platform after its launch. And now we are aiming at going on the phase 2. Actually, by June 2019, we have a new phase on our school website that is our phase 2. And now at current moment stand, we are in July in 2019. We are planning for the 2020 June go live in Frankfurt, with a third phase of improving the standard TATRA learning management system. I actually, I don't know where I could continue, but this is basically the challenge that we have to go through. And a little bit more about the school. As I've mentioned, we are part of EULAR, and we have online courses, live courses, workshops, blended learning, where school learners all around Europe, actually all around the world, would join in, and they basically register with us, and they do their courses with us online. And so with TATRA, we basically have the possibility to make ourselves, as our strategy would like to say, the worldwide leader in the field of rheumatology, specifically in education, educating not just the people who are doctors, but also people with arthritis and health professional that is working in the field of rheumatology on how to special techniques on how to take care of patients at that particular course. Yeah. I don't know what else I can speak of. Maybe Georgi, you could help me here. I can't remember much.
We have, as Jen said, targeted the user group completely differently according to their profiles, and there is where TATRA helped us because with the hierarchical structure of TATRA and the self-registration with approval functionality, we were able to just guide the user groups when they choose what kind of offers they would like to use as part of the European School of Rheumatology. There was, of course, the problem with the payment of the registration, where TATRA right now that doesn't have this option. Maybe in the future that will be part of the standard core offer of the program, but right now we just implemented as part of because TATRA is open source, we were able to implement a payment at this step. Afterwards, when you log in, also depending on your profile and what kind of person you are, you're getting completely different tailored offers for you. That's something that that wasn't the technical part, but more like the learning and development part, where my colleagues were able to guide the users through the system and to use the content of EULAR in the best way. And why also Jen here is mentioning we implemented the system in 18 months. Afterwards, it was very important to continue with the development of the product, because European School of Rheumatology is a product. It's not one-time development and then we all leave EULAR to do it themselves. The system is also fully responsive. Not only TATRA is anyway fully responsive, but it should be also responsive in the content part, where we are using also open source features of Adapt, which is also an open source project. It should be also easy to use, and that's where the whole features of TATRA come from. But we changed a lot of things also there, a lot of things in the configuration, which is easy to use as an admin in TATRA, but also a lot of things in the design. We're still using the base design of TATRA, but everything is styled according to the wishes of EULAR. The payment is something that's very important for such kind of product. I saw in the past a lot of tries and failures with product development with an LMS, where most of the people are assuming, okay, that's our content, we'll put in and we'll sell it through the PayPal plugin in the system. But what EULAR changed and what EULAR wanted to have is, if you're coming from Africa, you'll get a reduced amount of for your courses, so you pay less because of the NGO type of company they are. And that's something that will continue. There is just continuous development in this direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree, and that's how we work towards this particular solution. That was really important for us because the basic TOTARA could already start when you have the system or the standards, but we had to customize because of specific reasons, as we have mentioned. That in 2017, that was one of the biggest solution we need, and currently, right now, this is our second year, and coming the third year in 2019 on June onwards, we are looking at only fixing small technical bugs behind through the connection, but we are always trying to use only whatever that is available as standards in TOTARA, and adjust our processes to the standards of TOTARA instead of like changing the whole codes and coding, and if we might run into problems. So we really use full use of all the standard solutions that are available from TOTARA itself.
And something that, as part of the continuous development here, Jenny is mentioning, is actually as next step we're going to use the programs, for example, in TOTARA. For most of the users of TOTARA is coming as a wish. Let's use as first implementation everything TOTARA is offering us, which is good, but try to use in a pilot phase at least, or in a trial phase, the most important for your company features, like EULAR did it, and try to implement with each step afterwards, step by step, everything that TOTARA is offering. That TOTARA is offering a big template for you, which you can use. You can listen to your partner when there are some challenges, but try also to work for the solution as you wish to implement it, because you as a customer, you know the best how what you want and what you need.
I think the only success point, what makes us so quick, was because EULAR, even our board, was very open to change very boring, hardcore organizational processes in order to fit the standard TOTARA processes behind for the administration to execute specific documents or action in the system. And so it had facilitated us a lot, and there was not a lot of customization. We just used whatever that came about. And I think if people who are considering of using TOTARA, you should first consider a very big point that you first consult your partner. For example, I consulted LearnChamp, and we all sat together and say, okay, if this is the main priority of the process, to identify what, and if we could change some of our processes to fit the standard features in TOTARA, or is it then necessary to customize? And at the very, very beginning stage, we took everything raw as it is and had no much customization. The only customization was because of the payment system, where TOTARA do not have as a standard. So, and even until today, we are the second round. We only changed now the design. We are at the design phase now. And we already have 7,000 to 8,000 active people, and we hope to see more learners coming onto our online stream, and that will then increase our numbers drastically. Yeah, and the phase 3, like Georgi has mentioned, we first went through the 2 years of content migration. It really is a very long time. And after that, you will realize actually 2 years is not even sufficient, but we try to do as much as we can little by little. And then this coming year, we are planning to do a massive change in our courses where people can select not just courses, but instead a program where they can choose, okay, I would like to do 5 modules of this course and the other 5 modules of this course, and therefore I pay another specific amount instead of buying a whole course where you are restricted to those modules you have to study.
And something about the content migration here that Jen mentioned, it is really a lot of content inside, but TATRA gives you this opportunity to choose how to use this content. Because there were mostly PDFs or some specific materials from EULAR. Of course, you can use an authoring tool for that, as we used ADAPT for it. But the most important part is look what the system is offering you. We had a huge challenge here regarding the exams in TATRA, because the exams were had to be made in a specific way with a specific statistical methods behind them, with each step in the exam predefined and triggered to the system. And the quiz functionality of TATRA offered it to us. The main aim here was really the statistics afterwards, because the professors who are part of EULAR and are working, of course, pro bono, they would like to use the results for their work afterwards. And we worked also with them through Genevieve, just to make the best solution, which we use right now actually as part of the Congress. Another part of the implementation was PayPal, as we said. And here I see a question in the chat: how we manage the VAT in each country. And that's something actually that EULAR has to answer, because that's part of the PayPal and how PayPal works.
So as you understood, VAT is a very sensitive issue. We have included the price all within the cost fee we set. So as we are non-profit, we actually don't cover much. The cost fee is very, very cheap for anybody. You will be surprised if I tell you the cost price, and we even absorb the VAT from there. It's pretty difficult if you are thinking about, if you're not a non-profit organization and you will have to take care of the VAT, the one thing you might want to think about to customize is the VAT payment system, which TATRA doesn't have at this moment. But you must remember, TATRA is a learning management system. It's not an e-commerce platform. So that might be one of the little things that you might have to customize. If that answers your question.
Exactly. That's something we can also solve in the next step. But it was, the main aim was to get this huge audience in all over the world. With PayPal, you have and with TATRA, the possibility to really cover all the world, with exception, I think, of Iran and North Korea. But if needed, we spoke also about that with EULAR. If we need to include Iran as part of the offers, there is also a payment solution for that.
Yeah.
Not with PayPal, but
the thing is, Andrew, you asked about the multiple taxes, right? We have made a tax audit with the Big Fours, and we realized that if you are educational material, apparently some countries are exempted for VAT. So I really don't know what you're going to do with your learning management system, what courses you sell in this learning management system. You might want to take a look deeply into different countries, because apparently some countries have a VAT exempted policy. But the EULAR does it differently. We do not charge our end users VAT. We absorbed all VAT and then we pay them out to the respective countries. So it is a lot of cost on our side. But as I've mentioned, we are non-profit, so it's a little bit different. So yeah.
But we have, for example, also a customer who is figured it out how to do that through PayPal only. So not with TATRA, but actually PayPal is also great as a tool to use with TATRA, and the integration is pretty easy. You need just a seller account and.
Yeah, but I think Andrew, you might also want to take note that you must have the option for bank transfer. I do not know how your customer base is, but for us, we have also people coming from very weird Eastern European countries, and PayPal do not accept their payment. Yeah, and so we have other options as well. So just that you take that in mind, but this is not something TATRA can do, but you have to bear in mind about the specifics of what you want in the learning management system. So far, I am very, very happy with TATRA, with the learning management system. Of course, there are always bugs, but there are always bugs everywhere. And in these 3 years, we have run through how many exams do we have already? Eight examinations with thousands of people taking the examination at the same time at different days. And we have very good statistics. These are standards from the statistics within TATRA. You can create a whole examination statistics from there, and not just by question based, but quiz based, and even looking at the question itself, which gives you a discrimination index. There's much more, which I must say TATRA is very strong at. There is also the possibility for you to extract. For example, when you create a course in TATRA, you are quite flexible to, for example, decide if you want to link the person to another web page. You can add specific folders. You can do many sections within the sections to reduce the size of the modules, because I've used other standard market system outside, and they are quite restricted. So it's either this or that. But because TATRA is open source, you have everything like a catalog to choose. And all you need to do is consult your partner and say, look, my processes is best to choose these standards, put them all together. And then you have to then customize your outlook, how it should bear your branding, etc. But basically it will be ready to go. The implementation is fast if you are able to change your processes to the standards from what you can choose from. But it's a very big range of standards you can choose. Today I can choose this, next week I can choose something else to switch on, etc. And that's my key takeaways. I don't know if there's any more question. Technical question can be answered by Georgi. And processes, I'm willing to take it from here.
And I think most of the attendees can also read about EULAR's project as a case study on TATRA's page, where it's maybe more detailed in some areas.
Yeah, and if you have more questions, you can always go to EULAR.org. Click on the School of Rheumatology, send me an email, and I will be more than happy to answer any organizational process question. How did you choose TATRA? Why? What are the lists I have chosen TATRA, etc. I am willing to share. This is something maybe new customers might be wondering why and how and so on and so forth.
So any questions? Or you can just contact your partners.
My contact, Eva, if you go to EULAR.org, that is EULAR.org. From there, you can find all our contact details. Thank you, Georgi.
Or you can register also for the school. It's free to register there. So it's the
Try
following.
it.
Exactly, it's the following EULAR.
And let us know if you have any feedback. Of course, we use SCORM courses. Yes. We have interactive clinical cases where you need to have SCORM because you need to track and you need to reduce the size of specific texts, which are long medical texts. We use the open source that is also under TATRA, if I'm not wrong. It's called Adapt.
It's a separate project, but
A separate project, yeah.
TATRA is, or the owners of TATRA are also part of it. So it's an open source project called Adapt, where you can get a full responsive content afterwards, and you can export it in SCORM, XAPI. Of course, SCORM is the worldwide standard right now, and we used it in this case. We're tracking the completions there. I think the main aim was to transform this content, which was in PDFs and
exactly into SCORM packages, yes.
in SCORM packages, and there are a lot of these SCORM packages in the system.
Yeah.
And we're using SCORM 1.2 as part of the standard, which is at the end the best working SCORM standard.
The latest one.
Yep.
By the way, Eva. Any more questions in the panel? Matt, I believe there is no more question.
Okay, well, thank you very much for today, and thanks for talking us through such a great case study. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, of course, do feel free to email, but also come to the TATRA community and pose your questions in there as well. But also, it's great that you have this opportunity to go to an actual TATRA site and have a look at EULAR's school as well. There's not many opportunities to do that, so that's really wonderful.
Yeah, you can find us there, and I'm sure you can walk yourself through. Any feedback is very welcome. We're open to make more changes to help our learners understand the site better. So,
okay, so thank you so much to both of you today, and hope you have a great afternoon.
thank you.
So, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.